the paraponera, a carnivorous ant, and how if these dangerous species would get out of hand, what an imminent danger would be for the country. In my studies, which I have in depth in sciences, this is based on real insects that actually exist in the world today. This particular species immobilizes the appendages of its victim and eats the victim alive. The best part is being able to create, to be able to take a blank page and create life, a story, and an ending which did not exist before, but by your own hand you have created life. Because the content is not only true, but it's interesting. It's a fascinating subject. It's on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble. I have the alien seeding, which is the propagation of an alien species, how it actually could happen. And then I have the Jack West, read all you can, and even more, write as much as you can.
I guess it would be, it's a beginner's guide to belly dance in a nutshell. A lot of my students were always asking for notes and things like that, so I'd have all these notes that I'd write out for them, and then I thought, oh, I might as well just write a book and then publish it. So that's how it came about. Well, it's very easy to read. It's all structured right from the beginning. There's a nice warm-up, movements, technical breakdown of the movements, some combinations you can put together, and then there's you can put some of the combinations together to create your own choreography, and there's a lesson plan at the back. Well, it's an excellent low-impact exercise. It's a dance form that's been around for 3,000 years, so something's got to be good about this dance form. If you have issues with your knees, your lower back, this is an excellent exercise that you can do. Of course, online, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, a lot of bookstores carry it, so you can just search on their websites.
Started with the idea that I got that society would change considerably if men outnumbered women, which is the opposite of the norm. Usually by the time we get to my age, women outnumber men by about 15%. So I thought something would change if you flip that over and had men outnumbering women by 2 to 1 or more. And I could have done it with a disease, but I decided that wouldn't give me enough antagonists, so I invented a society that went and kidnapped their wives from the tribe next door. And that, of course, left the tribe next door with a shortage of women, and the ones that were stealing them had more than they needed. The best part is getting to the point where you can say, this is the end and I'm not going to touch it again. I don't dare reread my book now because I'd find things that I'd want to change. So I don't even look at it. They can buy it on Amazon. They can buy it from Barnes & Noble. Well, if you like dystopias, you will like this book.
The book is about VMAX. V means life in French, max means living maximum, living life to the maximum. So if you were to live 60 long years, you would live about 2 billion heartbeats. And the whole book is written about how to appreciate simple things in life and living life to the max with every single heartbeat in mind. So that's what VMAX is all about. It teaches you about the philosophy, appreciating your life, not working, wanting, wishing for what you do not have, actually knowing and appreciating what you do have before you lose it. That's what VMAX is all about. Well, I've been taking care of critically ill for about 40, 50 years, so I've seen a lot of death and suffering and a lot of misery and a lot of disease processes. So all that taught me one thing, taught me how to live life to the max, how to live life more deliberately and enjoy every single heartbeat of your life. The best part of being a writer is basically taking a philosophy and inspiring other people and instilling the same philosophy in people and changing people's lives. When I see that, it just gives me back in tenfolds and appreciates me to live my life to the most. How I want to change is that once I change people's perspective about life, then they change their perspective about their own life, day-to-day living, so it improves their life on day-to-day basis. Instead of wishing and wanting for what they do not have, but actually appreciating what they do have. So it improves their life, quality of life and day-to-day living. My message for my readers is appreciate every single heartbeat of your life. You don't know how long it's going to last, but you have control about how you live your life. So don't waste it away. It might end up tomorrow, it might end up today. The book is available on Amazon and available in the BarnesandNoble.
Well, it's about a guy by the name of 𝐤𝐫𝐤. In fact, you are 𝐤𝐫𝐤 when you read the book. He's the main character. He's ex-Green Beret, and when he was in the Green Berets, he was like a sharp knife and a very thin scabbard. Everybody wanted to be around him when they were out in the field because he would protect them. But when he came in, he was a head case. They stayed away from him. And he's in the Green Beret for 6 years. And when he got out, he was still a head case, but then he got saved. But in the back of the mind, he still had that old gore that he had to protect himself from. And he got married, a very sweet lady. He had 3 kids and 3 cats and 2 dogs. And then a mob boss, driving out of his mind, 60 miles per hour in his Cadillac, ran into his car, killed his whole family. And then he was a very rich man, but he was still a cop. And 2 years after that, the mob boss sent a team to kill him, and it didn't succeed. He ended up killing them, but he was very beat up. And he still was a cop, but he decided he'd had enough of that. And he went and bought a concrete boat made in backyard in Phoenix and took it out and had it put in the Gulf, and he was going to become a boat bunk. That was what he was going to do. He was just going to be a boat bunk. But that didn't work out either. The Lord decided that he was going to be a secret agent. So him and 2 other guys became secret agents in this boat, and the adventure started then. They ended up going after another mob boss, and he ended up in the jungle with again the snakes and gators and all kinds of people. They had crooked police after them. They were chasing all kinds of bad people. They were always behind because they didn't know why they were always behind. They were always chasing people. They were always behind. They were always getting shot at. They were always. It's really a great adventure. It's really fun writing, number one, but the best part is when people read it and really enjoy it and tell me they enjoy it. That's the best part. You can buy it on Amazon. It's available in hard copy, like this, soft copy. It's available in Kindle. Go buy it.
The professors of English who teach reading, writing, and the 20th century contemporary American literature classes, as I did in the past. I was a professor of English teaching 20th century American literature, multicultural literature, and including Asian American literature at University of Northern Iowa for a decade. And the book was actually initiated by the students, teaching the books of Maxine Hong Kingston, Amy Tang, and David Henry Huang and Gishan, my students got the impression that I knew a lot about Chinese culture, and they were so curious about my experience, want me to tell them my stories, but I have to write academic books. For example, this book was about Maxine Hong Kingston and American Orientalism, which took me 10 years to finish. Then now and later I went to teach American literature and Chinese American literature, world Chinese literature in Shanghai and in Taiwan, and the students in China also want to know my stories, how I studied English and became a professor of English in America. I think the best part of being a writer from my perspective is that I don't have to just talk in class to teach a limited number of students. And when I wrote my book, I could actually Berkeley and the Stanford Library already collected my books. I wish to leave my books to posterity to have them preserved in library for many generations to come, to share my knowledge and experience. The message of I wish to say, writing memoir. I wrote this memoir as well. This is called License Plate Number 1, based on my grandmother's wedding story, which covers 200 years almost social history of Shanghai, traced back 5 generations in my family. It is available. These 2 books are available. 3. The books are available on Amazon.com, and I have a press called Bilingual Academy Press .wordpress.com, and my personal email address is my name, Jenny Wang, JENNY106@gmail.com. You are welcome to contact me anytime, and or if you want to give a talk, I'd be only too happy to talk about my books.